Hi, George, folks, everybody at the film festival. It's really an honor for me to be here. I was at the film festival a couple of years ago. My wife and I, we just had a wonderful time. So anyway, I'm glad to be able to participate a little bit right now. George, my wife Judy, she was just here talking to these boys, and she said to tell you hi. She's very fond of you. Really almost won her heart during that film festival. Well, George, I want to try to pay tribute to you, and I'm not sure that there are enough words in the English language that I have control of to do you justice. But anyway, I'm not going to talk very. I'm sure that most of the people out there know you a lot better than I do. Of course, I've known you a long time. Back in I think 1957, we were working on a craft theater, hour-long drama, and we were both in it, and we became friends, and or maybe I should say competitors, because although I'm considerably older than you are, we still kind of fell in the same age range there for a while. Anyway, we became friends. I didn't see you again until, it was like 1961 or 1962, when you were working in a pilot film for a show to be called My 15 Blocks. And I wasn't in it, but my 2-year-old son, Clint, he was in it. And now, I could have been in it, but you were in it, George. See, folks, this is a very competitive business, and it's sometimes it's hard to not let the competitiveness of it interfere with friendship. But with George and I, it never really did. He just went ahead and got the job anyway, and I just watched and applauded him. From My 15 Blocks, the director-producer, Sheldon Leonard, he liked your performance, George, so much that he put you in the Andy Griffith Show as the character Goober. Now, I could possibly have played Goober, maybe not as well as you, but I could have had a funny little hat, and I could have played Goober. But you did it, and you did a wonderful job. Then, from the Andy Griffith Show, folks, George's career just took off like a rocket. He was doing guest spots on the Alfred Hitchcock Show, guest spots on Gunsmoke. Then we moved right into feature films. Now, I remember one feature film, George, you may have forgotten this. It was called Mr. Pulver. Now, Josh Logan was set to direct Mr. Pulver, and I had been in the play Mr. Roberts with Henry Fonda, which Josh Logan had directed. So I thought I had a pretty good chance of getting into this production of Mr. Pulver. So I arranged an interview, and I went up to see Josh, right over here at Warner Brothers, as a matter of fact. And he was really glad to see me. He jumped up from his desk and he came over and shook my hand, and we hugged and slapped each other on the back for a while. And I thought, gee, Josh remembers me, and this is really going good. And finally said, Rance, we're not doing Mr. Roberts now, so we're doing Mr. Pulver. And he says, there are a whole new crop of actors out there, and he says we're forced to use them, to move on. these new actors. He says, I ran into a guy the other day that is really terrific. Young actor named George Lindsey. You might know him. I said, Josh, they don't come any better than George Lindsey. Well, George did that. He did other movies. He had he went to Las Vegas and he carved out a career as a stand-up comic. Now that's tough. That's hard. But George did it. Very successful stand-up comic in Las Vegas. He did Broadway. He can sing and he can dance. He's a consummate actor. Comedy, drama, just anything. George Lindsey can do it. Now, like I said earlier, I don't think there are any tributes really big enough to do justice to you, George. So I don't know, I'm on the spot when I'm trying to pay you a tribute. So, but I know what all actors like, and I know you do too, George. And I'm going to ask you folks to please help me here in paying tribute to George Lindsey. Now, I would like for you to all stand up and we will give George a wonderful, rousing, standing ovation. Okay, folks, on your feet, and here we go!